Hello everyone, this is Koku, and today I will go over the part 2 of our lab 3, your first hack. The goal of this lab is to gain access via Sember exploit, create a persistent user account, give some mitigation strategies, and define a attack taxonomy family and with their categories. So the attacker machine is the Kali Linux, the IP address here. The target is a chaotic one with its IP address. Both VM are on a host-only network, and the primary CVE obviously is we're going with the Sember exploit. So the first command is to identify the Sember version via the met exploit. We previously identified the version in our previous lab, in part 1. So we use the command ms fconsole. When you run it, you will have image looking like this, and the next command will give us the version, but we already have the version, which is Sember 2 tag 2 tag 1 alpha. The next step is locate the exploit DB. So we search on the web Sember 2 tag 2 tag 1 alpha, which reveal the DB entry number 10 as shown on the screenshot right here, and the CVE, the type, and more information down below. So we can either click on the semicolon and copy the exploit. So rather than manually copying the exploit code from the browser, we use the mirror to export directly to my local Kali machine, which is saved as Think Dark Charlie into my directory home/Koku as shown down here. It's copied to this folder. Next is to execute the exploit via Metasploit. So due to compatibility issue again, the Metasploit framework built into Trans2 Open module was used to execute the exploits. So the reverse TCP payload was configured via the Kali as the listener and Geocris as the target. Upon multiple command, shell session were open, confirming in session 1 open 192.168.56.100 all the way to 32.769 as shown on the screenshot right here. The next command is to verify the root access. So after connecting to active session, root access was confirmed by running identity and directory verification command. So the shell return UID 0 confirming the full root privilege on the Keyopsy machine. So our next command confirm is who am I, ID, password, UID, 0 root. Next is to create the user account using my last name. Just down here, my last name, GBO. The results showing down here, password, all authentication token update successful. So I successfully create the username with my last name and passwords. Next is to log in into the Cube one as Bobo, and the result showing a successful login into my Cube one machine, as showing down in the screenshot. So I was able to log in with a username as admin. So the login was successful. The next is the mitigation strategies. So for this CVE chance to open, which is in port 139, some of the mitigation include restriction to the network access, use IP table to block port 139 from all untrusted segment, permitting only explicitly authorized source IPs, whitelist trusted hosts. You can disable and unuse share, enable SMB signing as well. These are some of the mitigation that we can use. And for the mod SSL open, which is on port 443, I know we only emphasize December. These are some of the mitigation as well that can be done. More into mitigation, network segmentation can play the culprits behind firewall, restricting inbound access only to required port and authorized source IPs. File integrity monitoring, deploy it to detect unauthorized changes to system binary, configuration file, and user account, or disable the root SSH login, audit login, enable the 6log to capture authentication event, privilege escalation attempts, and account creation activity for forensic review. And finally, our attack taxonomy, compiling the table, buffer overflow, writing more data memory buffer than it can hold, spilling into adjacent memory to redirect code execution. It's family type memory corruption, stack base, heap base. Impact, remote code execution, privilege execution, escalation. The CVSS is rated as high critical. For privilege escalation, is exploitation of flaw to gain access beyond what is normally permitted for current account. Access control, vertical and horizontal. Impact, full system will be compromised. Unauthorized data access, also rated as high critical. Rootkit, which is a malicious tool that provides hidden unauthorized access by modifying core operating system component to conceal the attacker presence. Also, the family type malware, usually kernel, user bootkit, and hypervisor. Persistent authorized access, detection evasion, rated as critical. Next, Trojan. Malware is disguised as legitimate software that performs unauthorized action once executed by a deceived user. User categories, the impact, remote access, data theft, malware delivery, rated as high critical. Backdoor, the hidden asset method that bypass normal authentication to maintain persistent unauthorized entry to a system. Categories, persistent access, the software and hardware, cryptographic. Impacts, persistent unauthorized access, the bypass. Rated as high critical. Viruses is a self-replicating malicious code that attaches to legitimate file and spread when a user executes the infected host. Category is malware. Type self-replicating file. Impact data corruption, system damage, malware delivery, rated as medium critical. ROP is a chain, is a chaining small existing code sequences like gadgets to perform malicious operating without injecting new code, bypassing DEP and ASLR. Category and type: memory exploitation, stack blind, impact arbitrary code execution, security control bypass, rated as high critical. And lastly, social engineering, which is manipulating human psychology to deceive individuals into divulging information or gaining unauthorized access. Category and type: human manipulation, type phishing, smishing, impact credential theft, unauthorized access, and data breach, rated as medium critical. This is all for our Lab 3 Part 2, your first hack. These are the references. Thank you.